on the News Channel 5 network. This is OpenLine.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to News Channel 5 Plus. I'm Casey Mason, and tonight you're joining us here for OpenLine Ask the Expert. And we are in good hands tonight. We actually have two experts joining us this evening, and it's a topic that I think at some point all of us could eventually face in our lives, and that's memory care, assisted living, what to do later in life for our loved ones. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Introduce our guests this evening. Joining us here, we have Claudia Harris and Lori Domer. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening. Thank you for having us.
Well, we're happy to have you here. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be here for an hour talking with the ladies here, and they are joining us from Creekside at 3 Rivers. So first of all, let's hear a little bit about who you are, your titles at Creekside, kind of your day-to-day.
Okay. I'm the executive director at Creekside. Originally, when the building was being built, we've been there 7 years. I was the first employee, so I was there. I tell people I'm older than the building because I was there before the building was. And my first position was marketing director. And so recently I stepped over as the executive director. So I've been there for a long time.
So we indeed are asking the experts. So expert number 2 over there, we're going to talk with Lori now. Lori, tell us your title at Creekside and what your day-to-day is like.
I'm the marketing director at Creekside. Now, I did start out when the building opened with Claudia as the activity director, and I helped her in marketing. Left for a few years, and then I've came back because obviously they've got the expert on as the executive director, so we thought we'd make a good team. And my job every day is to interact with families in need.
Wonderful. Now, ladies, let's hear a little bit about some of the main topics. The folks that are just now tuning in, what they can expect to hear us talk about tonight. We've got a pretty big list this evening. What are some of those main things that folks can expect us to cover this evening?
Well, I think there are a lot of misconceptions about assisted living in general. Just what we can do, what we can provide, what it looks like, what is the residence day like. And then we also have memory care, which is for folks that have Alzheimer's, dementia, cognitive impairments. And I think that, you know, a lot of people have questions and a lot of people have fears that especially surrounding memory care. So we appreciate the opportunity to be able to share what life's like at Creekside.
Well, we're happy to have you on, and we're going to get to a lot of those misconceptions, those questions, and maybe just also learn. I always seem to learn a ton of new things when we have segments like this and get to sit down and really talk with folks like yourselves. And I want to go ahead and extend our invite. Again, this is Ask the Expert, so we do want to hear from you, our viewers, tonight on News Channel 5 Plus. I'm going to give you that number. Go ahead and call in, and we will take your phone calls, and you can talk to them yourselves right here on air with us about any topics you may have about assisted living. That number, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you here. It's 615-737-7587. So feel free to give us a call tonight. We would love to hear from you. All right, well, let's go ahead and kind of talk about one of our first items this evening. I think this is a unique one, especially living here in the Music City Central. And it's unique because research is really starting to show out there that memory and music, they have a big impact together. And you all are addressing this now at Creekside, is that right?
That's correct.
So what exactly are you all doing with this type of therapy?
Well, the part of your brain that has memory, music memory, is one of the last parts of your brain to die when you have Alzheimer's or dementias. We are a certified music and memory community, which means that, well, about 3 years ago, this is really my passion. About 3 years ago, I saw a documentary, and so I was overwhelmed. A lot of people have probably seen it, but anyway, so I went, at the time I was marketing, and I went and I asked if I could rent a theater in Murfreesboro and give away tickets. So we did. We rented a theater and gave away tickets because music is, you know, I mean, you could be driving down the road right now and you could hear a song that all of a sudden you haven't heard it in years, but you remember the words, you can smell the smells, you remember, you know, whether it was the prom or whether it was your favorite song when you were little, and all of these memories just start rising back up in your mind and in your heart. what you see often with what we do is we do a personalized playlist for a resident. So Lori would sit with the family and ask for about 20-25 of your favorite songs. So you may say, oh, well, my mom really likes Amazing Grace. Well, we dig deeper than that, because there are a lot of people that have sung Amazing Grace. You know, depending on how old she is, you've got like the Spear family, the Gaithers, lots of people sing Amazing Grace. So we want to know exactly what it is that speaks to you. And so we put that playlist together, and you often see that when somebody, even with care, if we're trying to provide care, like a shower or changing clothes, and that person is upset and agitated, if you let them sit for a while and listen to that music, it's just like, you know, they go back. I've had families before where I had a husband and a wife, and he would get very agitated in the afternoons. He had sundowners. And so she was there one day, and I asked him, I said, you want to listen to your music? And he sat down, and you know, I put his headset on him, and he just sat there and he started tapping, and he going, we're at the old time singing. I said, you're right, we are. And he started singing, and she started crying. Wow. Because he hadn't, you know, he wasn't angry anymore. When we got through, he sat there 45 minutes with his wife, and that's time that they couldn't have had otherwise. It helps with so many things, behaviors and just calming somebody, and it's very powerful, and there has been a lot of research.
I think I was going to say the word, it sounds very powerful.
It is very.
I want to ask you both this too, just out of my curiosity, when you deal with two different types of, you know, just different approaches for healing, you know, what's your opinion on medication results versus the music results? That's
very interesting, because along with a lot of the research shows that when you, and it's proven that when you give somebody the music, and it's kind of a regular part of their life, it's a regular part of their day. If somebody starts to get upset, you know, you can offer the music, and now it doesn't work every time, but and so a lot of the psych meds can be discontinued, because a lot of that's anxiety or stress, and the music is so calming and soothing that it can actually replace medications.
That is extremely powerful, and that just shows you know, the amount of research that goes into that, and just the advances that we've come, you know, over the years with assisted living and memory care. And we do have marketing director Lori Domer also with us tonight. Lori, I want to ask you this question. You know, Claudia had mentioned that you are actually, is that right, the one that will talk to the family and figure out the types of songs. I'm curious, walk us through what that experience is like for you.
You know, we get folks in, unfortunately, that come in at a very young age to a very old age that'll take them back to when they were in the service, or even when they, like you said, got married. Tennessee Waltz, because of course, you know, we're here, and that was always my grandparents' favorite song. And with my grandmother, for example, she had Alzheimer's, and that song, I don't care how old she was, how agitated she was, when she played it, she was right back with my grandfather. And there's just nothing more powerful than that.
That's wonderful. Well, that just is the tip of the iceberg of what we're talking about tonight, here with wonderful ladies of Creekside at Three Rivers. You're right here with us on News Channel 5 Plus on OpenLine. Ask the Expert. We'll be right back.